Will the virtuous Sangha, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cập nhật thiết chúng sanh, thịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đắc lạc, tất chân vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sananto Suchedo Ye Alahadi San Miao San Puto Se. Nam mô Tạc Tạc Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya Alahade Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Tọa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng she wei miao fa bai qian万劫难遭遇，我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Huineng, Venerable Shenhua, Venerable Left-Form people and all good new advisors, Amitabha. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa lục tổ, Hòa thượng Tiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, Liêu Chủ Sư Phụ Sang Rần, 各位出家人，各位善知识，阿弥陀佛。Hello everyone, thank you all for coming. Today is the 10th of October 2021. We are trying to finish the 6-page track sutra so that we can start it again. We are on the last chapter, the last 30 slides or so. Okay, slide 288. Let's jump right into it. So I thought I wanted to make a correction to the request the Dharma thing. The first line translation is incorrect. There's no compassion there. I thought I would change it, but I forgot. Okay, we'll change it. It's, when you translate, you cannot be liberal, too liberal. Translator is not supposed to speak Dharma. It's supposed to translate the Dharma. So they added this will the great versus Sangha out of compassion. Out of compassion is an addition that's not there. Basically, it says, we respectfully request the great virtues, Sangha. Change it to that, please. That's all. There's no compassion. Nonsense. All right, 288. Because I'm afraid that you or your confused minds will misunderstand my intention, I will instruct you again so that you may see your nature.
This one. 恐如等心迷不会无益， 今在主如，令如见性。
All right, what is he saying?
他在里面说的是什么呢？
He says that you're confused.
他说你是迷惑的，
Meaning that
意思是
actually it's
说
pretty
呢，
good. You're not stupid, you're just confused.
你不是愚痴的，
There's a
就
difference
是
between stupidity
你
and confusion.
是迷惑
Stupid
的。
people
愚痴的人
cannot understand.
是无法理
No
解
matter
的，
what you do, they
不管你
cannot
做什么
understand.
呢，他们是不会懂
Okay,
的。
that's why they're
这
stupid.
就是愚痴的人。
Confused people,
但
they
是
are
迷惑的人，
temporarily
他们
stupid.
是暂时
There's a
愚痴
chance.
的，所以是有
So
一个
you
机
see,
会。
his instruction is so
所以呢，
precise.
他的
He
那
doesn't call
个
his students stupid
指
like
示
I
呢
do.
是
When I
非
call
常
people, my disciples
直接的，
stupid because out of
因为
arrogance. You're
我
so
叫
stupid.
我们弟子是
Okay,
很
because I think
愚
I'm
痴
so
呢，
much
其
better
实
than
呢
you. Okay.
我比他，
But
我觉得我比他们
the
更好。
master,
所以呢，但是
why do you
师
think
父
he
呢，
calls them confused?
为什么说他
It's
们是
because
迷
the level
惑
is
的
higher
呢？
than
因为
stupid.
他的
Meaning most of these people
的程度呢，
have
其实是呢是
reached
比愚痴高的，
arship range
因
already,
为
so
他
you
们已
can't
经
call
到
them
这个阿
stupid
罗汉
anymore.
的境界了，所以你不
So
能
when
再
I
说他
call
们是
you
愚痴的。所
beloved
以当我
disciples
们
stupid, and
叫我
those
们
you
弟
do
子
have
们的愚
reached
痴呢，你们这些还
the
没有到
arhat
达
range
这个
already,
阿罗汉的人境界
I
的。
admit I'm arrogant.
我的意思就是我是
Okay,
这
I'm wrong.
个
So don't take it literally.
error 是这个很
All right, now I got it
是
off
错
my
的，不
chest.
要
I
注
feel
意
so much better.
现在讲出来以后，我感觉舒服多了。
And recently, I told a couple of my
最近呢，
girls that
我
they
跟
reached
我几个女
Thursday's
生，
Ahad.
她们到这个
And
三
I
个罗汉的
remember
几
when
个
I
女
was
生呢，我记得
when I
那
reached
时候呢，
Thursday's
我的弟
Ahad,
子们
yes,
当我
I
到这个第三
did
个罗汉
reach
的时候
Thursday's
呢，
Ahad.
我
Ahung. Okay. He's gonna, did you? Yes, I did.
他就说
I
是
think
吗？然后
a disciple of Master Shenhua
宣化上
flew over me. I was meditating. He flew over me. Okay.
我在
He
打
says,
坐的时候，他飞过来就说：“哈哈哈
Congratulations.
哈，恭喜你，
Now
宣化上人的弟子。”
you will find out how
他就说你现在就会
difficult.
知
It's
道
not easy to make it
是如
to
此
the
呢
fourth.
困难能
See?
够
So he's
到这个四
certified.
果罗汉，所以你看呢，他还是呢，所以他就来呢
And
证明我
I said,
达到四果。
so you
所
pay
以呢，
attention to me?
他说
Really?
你，所
Low
以
lives like
我
me?
说哇，你
And
注意我
so he flew
像我
away.
这样的
So he just, the guy has nothing to do, clearly.
这个人呢，其实没什么
Okay.
重要的事情要做。
That he was watching me, and
所以
somehow he
呢，
knew
他其实
I
是
reached.
在
As soon as I
他
reached
知道
Thursday's
呢，我到
Ahad
了
ship,
这个
you
四果
know,
罗汉
he
呢，他就呢，
he immediately flew over and said, "Ah,
他就呢，其
Aha
实呢，
you know,
他就
the next one is not going to be that easy for
就
you."
马上飞过来就说，
Okay.
下一个
And
对你来说不是那么
and
容易。
so that's
所以
why
这就
I
是
can
他
claim I reached
最后
Thursday's
呢，
Ahad ship
他可
because
以说
he's certified.
我的
You see?
那个
Okay. So I didn't certify myself, and then he flew away immediately. So this guy really, I don't
所
know
以
what
他
he
就
does all day.
所以
So he flew
我就
away.
可以讲
So I
说
said, "Oh, is that
他
right?"
讲完以后马
So
上就
number
飞
one, he
走了，
cares.
所以
Okay.
呢，我就
Number
说
two,
哦是
I said, "Oh my
是
God,
第一他在
now
乎
it's
第
going to
二
be so difficult."
哦，现在是不
So
是就变得非常困难
I
了？
struggled for
所以我就
2.5 months.
挣
You know
扎
why?
了大概2个半月，为什
To
么
the
呢？
next level, whatever it is. I don't
到
know
下一
whatever
个
the
程
next
度，
level
不管
is.
是
It's
什么
not,
样的
I'm
程
not
度，
certified, so I don't
他
know.
不是
Okay.
因为
But
我不知道，但是
You know why it took me 2.5 months?
为什么花了2个半月
Because of
呢
that idiot.
因为就是他那个愚痴的人，
It's not difficult,
其实他不难，
nor is it easy.
也不是简单的。
Why do you have a label of difficult?
为什么要讲
Why
它
you have
是
to
难
label
呢
it？easy？
为什么要讲它是
What kind
容
of
易的
nonsense
呢
is that?
为什么什么样不是没有道理的吗？
So
所
these
以
people,
这些
they
人呢，
experienced clearly this guy, went beyond, that's how he could flew over
他们
and
就
harass me.
超越他，
But,
这就是为什么呢？他
But these people still have this notion of
他们还是有
difficult
那个
and
感
easy.
觉，
It's
那
true.
个
It's
难跟
not
易
it's not that easy to go
是
from
没错的，
3
不
to
是
the
那么
next
容
level,
易的，
whatever
从
that
3
is.
到下一
Okay,
个
we
程
don't know.
度
I don't know.
是没有
But
那么难的。
when you call
但
it
是
hard,
呢，当你
what
说
are
它
you
难
doing?
的时候呢，你在说什么？
You're influencing. You're creating adverse
你
influence
在
on the
影
idiot
响
listener.
他，
And
你
who
在
believes you?
到相
That's
信
the worst
他
part.
相
If
信
you
你的
said,
人。
if
如果
the
你说
listener
呢
said, "What
如
are
果
you
你听
talking
到他就
about?"
说你在讲什么？
Okay. So anyway, that's wrong, and these people still discriminate.
所以这些人
It's
还是在分别。
unfortunate. So
所以呢，
he succeeded in confusing my
他
mind,
就很
basically. Okay.
很
So
成功
that's
地
precisely why I
来
believe.
迷
I
惑
wasn't
迷惑
there,
了我
and
的
I
心，
don't
所以
know
我
for
相
sure,
信
but
呢
I，
我
believe
在那呢，我
when
不
the
太确
master,
定，
great
但是
master
当
said
那个
confused mind,
当
these
这个
people are
这个大师
pretty
在
good
说
level.
是
Okay?
迷惑的
Listen,
时
he
候
didn't
呢，
call
所以
them
是表
stupid
不心
anymore.
迷呢，因为他不再
However,
说他
because
们是
you
愚
they're
痴的，所以表示他们
confused,
的成功
they
是非常高
will
的。但是呢，
misunderstand
如果呢
the
他们不迷
patriarch's
呢，他
intention.
们就会
Okay?
误解这
In
个
what
祖
intention?
师的意
Whatever
思，
he taught
他
them,
的原意就是他所教导他
he
们
was
的。
afraid, meaning he
因为
knew
呢，
that
他
they
其实
didn't
呢
get it.
是
See, it's very
害怕
Chinese.
呢，他们讲的呢，其实
They don't
他
say,
所
"You're
教
so
导他们的，
stupid.
他
Why
并不
can't you
懂。
get it? How
就
many
中
times
中
do
国
you have
人
to
就说
repeat it
你
myself?"
你很愚痴，我
Like
什
some
么
people
时
I
候
know
才
would
会
do.
知道？为什么
He
你就
says,
是
"I'm
不懂呢？
afraid that you
他就说
confuse and you misunderstand my intention.
我
I
很
try to
担心
tell you
呢，
what
你
to do.
会
What intention? Telling them what to do.
你会
That's the
不
intention.
太理
The
解我的
patriarch
意思。
doesn't waste
那
time
个祖
looking
师
at
呢是不浪
idiots.
费时间呢，他会浪费时间
Okay?
看。
He tells them what to do. Does it make sense? So the difference between a patriarch and the other idiot who says, "It's so difficult." How does it help?
这个差别，因为他如果说
Yes,
呢，
Andrea's fault.
Well, isn't it possible, maybe he said that, to just make you apply more efforts?
No, actually, I believed it. Because number one, I was touched. I said, "Really?
他就
You
说我是
would
相信
come
的，
to
因为
me
第
and
一
tell me
呢，
something
我
like
其
that?"
实是很
So I was touched. I
感
said,
动，
"This
就
guy
是说
cares."
他既然会
Number
来，
two, because he
让我
cares, it must be true.
会关心我，因为
Darn it.
既然他关心我呢，那表示一定是真的。
See how damaging it is?
所以你看有多
The good
可怕，
intentions
那个好意
were
呢，最后呢
not helpful. So you see,
并没有
so the
帮助。
patriarch
所以
gave
呢
instruction to his disciples who are pretty good already.
祖师呢，
But
其实
he
呢
knew
就
that
给他的弟
they
子们
couldn't
呢
they couldn't
这
understand
个
what he
给
meant.
那个
It
非
would
常高
take
的
them a lot longer to understand it. Okay,
程
so
度
he
弟
says,
子们。
"I will repeat
所以呢，
myself
但是
again.
虽然他们
What
呢
for? Okay,
当时不
pay
会知
attention.
道，他们当时
This
不会
is
理解，
this the
但是要
next
花很多时间
instruction
他们
will
才能理
help
解。
you
所以
see
呢，
your
你们要注
nature.
意了，现在呢，
So
这
pay
个
attention.
指示呢会帮助你见如令如见性，所以
Shall
要
we
你们大家
continue
要
or,
理解，所以我
you
们
know?
要继续喽。
No, this is
好不好？
not for us. They're
因为这个
they're
不是
confused
给我
minds.
们的，
Are
是
you
给
confused or stupid?
你是愚痴的还是迷惑
Okay.
的？
290 Sutra text. After my extinction, continue to cultivate accordingly, as if I were still present. Should you disregard my teaching, then even if I were to remain in the world, you would obtain no benefit.
吾灭度后，依此修行，如无在日。若为无教，纵无在世，亦无有益。
All right, good translation here. 291. He says, after my extinction, that's
在我
correct.
的
He
那
used the
个灭
word
度后
extinction.
呢，
After my extinction, meaning that after I'm done with this body here. Okay? is not meant that when he said after my extinction, it says after I enter nirvana, like the Chinese would like to interpret it as, master so and so, 灭度。that master became extinct and went home or something. Okay, that kind of nonsense. This patriarch says, after my body dies, after I'm finished with my body. It's nothing to do with nirvana or liberation or crossing over. It simply says, after I'm done with my body. Does it make sense to you? That's all that matters. No nirvana, there's nothing, no pure, no nothing. After I'm done here, meaning this body here cannot serve, can no longer serve me. Is that clear? This is a very important distinction. That the Chinese, when they hear these things, the Chinese become confused. The Koreans, the Vietnamese become confused. Say, oh, Master entered Nirvana. No, these people don't enter Nirvana, let's face it. They don't go to the Pure Land, they don't enter Nirvana. They simply are done with the bodies. The body is extinguished. So far, so good? Okay, that's not be like the Asians, okay? We're not Asians. I mean, you're not Asians. Some of you are not Asians. Oh my God. Okay, continue to cultivate accordingly. Yeah. So, 依此, okay? Continue to cultivate accordingly. What is he referring to? Continue to cultivate according to this instruction I gave you. The instruction I just gave you. Not last year. Whatever instruction he gave them that we talked about few weeks ago, we all forgot what they were instructions, okay? But follow the instructions. It's very precise. This is a difference between a great teacher and a lousy teacher. They're very precise, like us Americans. Okay? That is, we are very specific. Follow that instruction and practice. So far, so good? As if I were still present. Okay? Is it necessary or not to say as if I were still present? Koreans. Let's keep them busy. They're too comfortable. Koreans. Huh? Your turn. What does it mean? Is it necessary for him to say as if I were still present or not? Okay, Koreans in Korea refuse to cooperate. How about Koreans here in America? Oh, wait. In Go Forest. The Koreans here in America are all in Go Forest. Okay, Sunims in Go Forest. What happened to one text Sunim? He disappeared? How did he know that we're calling on the Koreans today? Okay, that leaves you Jungin Sunim and Sangwook Sunim. As if I were still here. Don't say I was still here. Don't change present to here. Okay, it's no present. For 如在, I'm still here. Okay. These English translation a little bit slightly off. Okay, I'm just here. I'm not present, and not like absent present. I'm just here. Okay. Doing Sunim, is it necessary? Yeah, go ahead. Is it necessary for him to say that? I am not going to ask Sang Wook because you know she's going to answer. No. Or yes. Okay, so we won't bother. Okay. But Chung Yin, we still have a hope for him.
但是中英司令，我们是有机会可以给他回答的。
Not necessary, Master.
Why not?
Necessary. 为什么不呢？
I don't know, Master.
我不
You
知
don't
道。
know. Why do you say not necessary?
那你为什么说
You didn't know it, that you have said, I don't know.
你如果不知道，你
Okay.
应该说我不知道。
Okay. Who else would like to answer him? Who would like to help the Koreans? Hey,
谁要
Chinese
叫
people,
韩国人
help the
中国
Koreans
人
out.
可
So
以
you
帮助
know the language. Huh?
因为你知道
Is it necessary or not?
他是应该要如此说，还是不需要？
Q&A. Go ahead.
I think it is.
他说是，我觉得是需要
Because
的。为什么呢？
the sixth patriarch
因
said
为
that
六祖说他
for a reason, and maybe
是有原因
his
的。
disciples,
可能他的弟子
like when he was away in another temple, his disciples were not
当他
practicing as
如果不在道
if
场
he
呢，
was
他的弟子
there.
就不会修行。
That's where his disciples level were. I don't know. I think it's if he said that, there's a reason.
但是我想他如果
Yeah,
这样说的话呢， 是应该是有个原因的。
Friday, I was
就
in
像
San
我们
Jose
前我
and
在
we
San Jose
hiked back to Los Angeles
然后我
and
们
no
回来
one
洛
is
杉
here
矶呢，发
during
现没
lunch
有人
hour
在这，在
except for
午餐的
soju.
时候，只有说就是你们坐在那。
Yes, there's something along, you know, when
是
the
有一
cat
种
is away, the mouse is
就
dance
是
or have a
那
party.
个猫不在呢，
Okay,
这个老鼠就要
all right.
开
Anyone else?
开
Is it
party.
necessary?
是不是？是需要还是不需要的？
Of course it is.
当然
Remember,
是
the
需要的。
patriarch never wastes
你要记
a
得
single word. Okay,
是
as if I were
祖师
still
不会
here.
浪费任何一个时间
Meaning
的。
that-
就这里说如无
meaning
在
that
日呢，意思就是说
You
你呢？
behave differently
你
when I'm not
是
here.
当
Okay,
我
when
不
you
在
don't
的
see
时候
me.
呢，你的表现
However,
是不一样
you should know
但是你应该
that
知道呢，
even though my body is not
就
here,
就算我的
I'm
身体
still
已经
here
不在
with
这
you.
了，但是我还是在这跟你们
I don't
在一
need this
起。
body
我
to
不
be
需
here
要这个
with you.
身体在这，可以跟你们在一起，
Is that clear?
懂吗？
Okay. Next.
好，
Should
下一
you
个
disregard my teaching?
若为无教，
Then, even if I were to
纵
remain in the
在
world,
世，
you would obtain
亦无
no
有益。
benefit. Okay, and so that's what
所以
it
这
brings
就是为什么
immediately
呢？
brings
他
to
就
my mind
马上就跟他说了
Shakyamuni Buddha's
释迦牟尼
last
佛呢
instruction as well
最
to
后
his
的
disciple.
这
He
个
says,
指
"He
示呢
who loves me
就说
follows
他
my teachings."
他爱我
All
的
right?
人呢，就会跟着我的教诲。
Next.
下一个，
So we repeat the instructions, right? So 292. He further spoke this verse. Firm,
他
firm.
之前就
Do
说，
not cultivate the good. High, high. Do not do evil.
复说偈曰：物物不修善，腾腾不造恶。
Okay. Can we go to the verse first before I commit myself to either, one way or the other?
我们可不可以先看下
Because
面的
you？see, the funny thing is, if I prepare this,
在
I'd be
我在
influenced by this. But I didn't prepare my lecture, then
因为
it
我
comes
如果
from
没准
somewhere I
备
don't know
呢
where. Okay.
如果我从我
So,
就会被这个影响。如
sometimes
果我
I
没有准备
deliberately
的话
don't
呢，有时
prepare
候
at
他
all
就
so
不知
that I
道，
see what comes
他
out
就
and
会
look,
看，我就会看
why did I
是怎么
say
样。
that
然后有
again?
时候呢，我
Okay,
会
and
不
let's
准备
go
的
on.
看什么时候
Is that it?
飞来
That's
什
it?
么我就讲
Okay.
但是呢，我
Next,
就会
294. Still, cut off sight and
294
sound.
页
Vast, the mind unattached.
急急断见闻，荡荡心无着。
And that's it. Okay, excellent. Beautiful. Don't know what he means, but it's
不
just,
懂他的什么意思，
you know,
但是
he
非
gave
常
instruction
棒，
and
因为
then
呢，他
he
给
gave
这
some
个
verses and he said, I'm going to
这个
repeat
例
for
子
you,
呢，
and
他
you
就
expect to hear
说
the same thing,
我会
right?
给你，
Oh
就希
no.
望能够听到是一
It's
样
a
的东西，
totally
但事
different.
实上是完全是不一
Okay,
样的。
that's what verses
这
are
就
for.
是为
Verses
什么
is say
有
the
这
same
个
thing
记
but
的意
present
思，
from
因为
different
记就是
angle.
讲不一样，从不同的角
Okay.
度
And
来看。
this great man here is illiterate.
这位
Go figure. Never
大
went to
师
school.
呢是没
Never
有
ever.
念过书的，
Okay, so he says,
所以他就说了。
he said this verse, 4-line verse, firm, firm, do not cultivate the good. Okay, 勿不修善, firm, 勿 not sure what 勿 means. So why didn't I look up that
为什么
word?
呢？我
What
没有
kind
找
of
到这个，
preparation
我没
is
有去
that?
看这个字呢
Can。someone look up for me? Wu. What does it mean? Steady, firm, steady, unflinching, do not cultivate good, not attached to when doing good. Okay, that's the commentary. And high, do not do evil. Okay, 疼 high, lofty, set yourself apart from the common by not doing evil. Okay? Okay. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Firm. Okay. Did you can you give me a definition of wu, please?
勿
What is it? It says alone and diligent or motionless still, for the two together as a phrase.
A phrase meaning what?
Alone and diligent or motionless and still.
Okay.
Or the individual character could be rising to a height, towering, bald, or cut off the feet.
Okay.
Or sudden.
Alone and diligent. Yes?
That was what it said for the two as a
Yeah.
phrase
Alone
together.
and diligent. And what's the other phrase?
Motionless still.
Motionless and still. Okay. That's what it means. Okay? So he says, firm here is not a good translation. Apparently, you should not translate it individually, but you should translate it as a
要直
phrase.
接的翻译的。
Okay? So I would do, what are those two again? Let me choose one of the two.
It was motionless and still, or what was the other one? Alone and diligent. Alone and diligent.
Alone and diligent. I would translate that. I prefer that over
alone and diligent，不修善。
alone. What was it again?
Alone
Alone
and diligent.
Alone and diligent. Still and motionless. Still and
Yes.
emotionless.
No, motionless and still.
Motionless and still. I don't like the movement. I prefer the alone
我相信，我
and
觉得我要这个 alone。
diligent. Alone and vigorous. Okay. Alone and diligent. Please let's change it to that. Okay. And someone, while he's doing that, could someone look up for me, 疼疼? Is that a phrase as well? Okay, right. Okay, while they're doing that, let's talk about alone and diligent. Okay? Alone and diligent do not cultivate good. Let me explain. Alone. When you practice by yourself. Don't count on your Korean neighbors to tell you what to do. The Koreans do that. They say, "What did Master tell you? What did Master tell you? Huh? What did you learn last year? What did you learn last year? Tell me, tell me. What should I do?" This is not a university where you borrow the papers of last term's paper from someone, from your compatriots. It doesn't work like that, Korean Sunims. Okay? You're alone. And you must be diligent. Okay, let's stick to that translation. Alone, when you practice by yourself. Okay? And the name of the game is practice with vigor. And that's why the word diligent. Diligent is the worldly term that people understand, but for us, it's called vigorous. All right? Do you want me to get out of here so that it refreshes? Is that what you have in mind? Okay, very good. Okay, you got that? So, alone and diligent. Okay? You must walk this path alone. Whatever I tell the other Korean Sunim does not apply to you. Okay? Actually, if you hear what I tell the other Korean Sunims, it might confuse you. Just like someone asked me, how do I improve? I have these problems. How do I improve? I say, that's talk individually. Let's talk about it in person because I can't tell you. I need to know the details. I need to get more information from you before we can make adjustments. Okay? Like someone recently told me that the son has some visions here, is fearful and so forth, and somebody taught him to recite the Buddha's name, said, no, you don't do that, you do this, and it worked. Okay, so each person's different. That's why you're alone. Okay, you may be in this big group together, big assembly, but you're still alone. You must recite by yourself, and you must do it, practice diligently. Is that clear? So far, so good? Okay, you cannot count on others. Okay? Do not cultivate the good. Meaning what? Remember, these people are not the same as us. These people are advanced, if you will. They are pretty good cultivators already. Okay, why? How come they're still here after all these years? Why are they still here? Why are you still here? Gan, why are you still here? Huh? Why are you still here? Yes, sir. 7.
I'm still here because I have problems.
How depressing. Okay, next. Number 6. Okay, no. Anyone, why are you still here? This teaching is so subtle. I mean, I don't know how the Chinese can make it. Yes, number 2.
Thank you, Master. For me, cultivating is kind of like its own food. It gives me energy.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh. So, well, when I come to Way Mountain Temple, there's a wonderful snack table downstairs. And it usually has like lots of good treats that I didn't know that I wanted at the time. That's the same thing with cultivating. You show up someplace you don't necessarily want to go, and then when you get there, you have lots of treats that you didn't know that you wanted before you showed up. When I cross my legs, I don't want to do it, but then I kind of get filled up with the benefits, like a snack table.
Very good. Okay. Q&A.
Amitofo, Master. I'm still here because this is the only place I have hope
just fix myself. Not too many problems. Bad problems.
That's the only place who would want you? Is it fair to say?
Yeah, also.
Okay, anyone else? Why are you still here? After all these years, why are you still here? Anyone? Yes, 7.
Master, I believe that there's so much to learn and so many afflictions to give up.
Okay. Q&A.
Master, Anita for Master.
Hey, Joe.
Hello.
Why are you still here?
Because of our karma, and we stuck in the wheel of reincarnation.
Okay, very good. Why are you still here? Yes, Billy.
Because Master, I want to learn from you and good non-advisor so I could get in line, so I want to become a 6 patriot so I can teach.
Okay, we spare the Koreans. They're too new, so it's not fair to ask them, why are you still here? Okay. Let me ask and let me change the question. Why aren't they here anymore? Why aren't they here anymore? Yes, Andres. 7.
Well, obviously, if you stop coming, it's because you've reached ultimate perfection.
You reach your ultimate imperfection or perfection?
Perfection.
Perfection, okay. Yeah. Anyone else? Why aren't they here anymore? Spy number 1, why aren't they here anymore? She knows everything. She still talks to them.
Mô Phật, cái này chắc hết duyên rồi.
Hết duyên rồi, okay.
Master, I think like no more affinity.
Okay, very good translation. Anyone else would like to make a comment without being personal? They're not here anymore because they're not good enough. That's number 1 reason. A much more important reason is number 2, which explains why you're still here. Remember, I wasn't there and we're not there when the 6th patriarch was teaching his disciples, so we don't know. I know what happens here. That's why I asked you, why are you still here? Why aren't they here anymore? You're still here because you passed the test. It's very difficult to stay in the temple, stick around, follow the schedule, keep on coming back week after week, month after month, year after year. Okay, you have to undergo a lot of tests. So many tests, which are increasingly more difficult. And yet you're still here because you pass those tests. If you pass those tests, what happens to you? Versus the people who fail those tests. Don't know about those people who fail those tests. We don't care, okay? But the reason you pass the test is because you have this one thing here that will help you pass the test. What is it? Yes, Andrea's fault.
You have resolve and you have blessings.
Choose one.
She's saying blessings, but I'd say resolve.
但是我觉得是你有决心。
Resolve, blessing. So you combine two answers into one. Blessings and resolve. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else?
就是你有福报来做这个决心。
Yes, Peter.
Peter.
Thank you, Master.
谢谢师父。
Because I'm stubborn.
Stubborn, okay.
固执。
Okay, very good.
非常好。
Yes, number 6.
第6。
Diego said, I always come back because Master's words have made me grown a lot and I feel spiritual well-being.
Very good.
Jane said they don't come back because they lack blessings.
They lack blessings? Anyone else? Yes, number 2. 2.
We have faith.
Yeah, faith. Very good. Number 3.
I was about to say they lack of faith.
Lack of faith. Okay, they have faith and they lack of faith. So the one lack faith stay here. Those who have faith left. Okay, in the Buddha, the good faith in the Buddha left, and those who have faith, no faith stay here. Number 1, someone has to take you.
Master, for me, it would be intolerable not to be here.
Intolerable.
对我来说呢，我会忍受不了，如果我不来这的。哦，我很喜欢。
Okay, let me give you an analogy.
那我再给你一个例子好了。
I'm fascinated, I admit to you, with swords. Especially samurai swords.
其实呢，我们就是像
the sharpest,
武士道的剑一样。
the hardest, the most beautiful swords in the world are the samurai swords to me. Swords to me. Okay? How do they become swords? Because they take a piece of steel. A regular piece of steel. Well, it's kind of special because they use high iron sand and melt it so that it becomes the steel. But it's pieces of steel. They put together and they work it. So far, so good. And the way they work it is that they put it in the fire. Okay? And they pull it out, and what do? They beat it. Ding! 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 Okay? And by beating it, they are doing what? Anyone know about sword making? Guru Guru? Might be up in your alley. Non-Buddhist stuff. Yes, too.
Thank you, Master. They're refining the steel.
Refining the steel. In other words, layman's terms, taking out the impurities, remove the impurities from the steel. So every time you beat the steel, the hot steel, okay, the impurities fly all over. And you let it cool down, let it sleep overnight, and stick it in the oven again at 4 the next morning. Sounds familiar, boys and girls? And you take it out, and what do you do again? You beat them up.
你又再把它再打一次。
Okay, and you throw into water. So, okay, honey, I love you.
你就把它丢到那个水里面呢，你就说啊，我是。
And you throw into evening ceremony.
然后你就把它放到这个晚课上。
Okay, you see, it's repetitive. You have to heat it up. Okay, and then you have to beat the impurities out of the steel. So far, so good. Okay, so if you survive and the piece of steel is not fractured, because it happens every now and then, they overdo it. Okay, it's too hard, so it's too much carbon left. because they heat it too much. They overheat it. Okay. So as they beat the steel, it cracks. So you have to throw it away. So maybe a third of the time they have to throw away after a lot of hard work. Okay, that's equivalent to those people who've been here for a few years, several years, and you have to. Out you go. There's a crack in your brains. You're not good enough. Get out. So you're around because you're good enough. Yes? There's one aspect about our particular kind of steel that's different from, let's say, my master's steel. There I say. What's the difference? Our kind of steel is different in that because we're a lot smaller. We don't have 200 people, 300 people. We only have 16 people. I'm broke already, feeding them, clothing them, giving them shelter, listening to their whining and complaining all the time. It drives you up the wall. You teach them, they don't get it. And no matter how many times you have to repeat it to them, and they sneak around on you, thinking you don't know. The difference is that there's a requirement. I don't mind telling you. You survive because you're good inside. You're not good enough. If your nature is not good, you will fracture. You will crack because all your ickiness will come to the surface. We can all see it. There's no place to hide. Your ickiness reveals itself. Everyone sees it. So what do you do when everyone sees it? You have to run away. Do you get it? That's what makes us different from the other side of the tracks. We're too small. There's no place for you to hide. Your ickiness, everyone knows about it. So are you going to be good? Or are you going to hang on to your ickiness? Any problems, any questions, any disagreements? Sangha, it's now the time for you to speak up and say, Master, you're so wrong. I'm very icky, I'm still around. Not for much longer. So far, so good? Yes, sir. Number 2.
Thank you, Master. Another very strong reason I've stuck around is to support the Sangha. Because where I fall millions of miles short, I see the Sangha succeeding at that every day. And I feel like in a small way, if I can support them to do what I can't, then that helps other people.
Brownie points. You get the point? The reason is that we forge the impurities out. What remains is the goodness of your soul. Yes, sir. Number 7.
Master, you said earlier, I think on Friday or something, you said that Buddhists don't use the term soul. So what's like a good replacement for that word?
Whatever it means to you. Okay? When I use soul, that means I don't care what you think.
但是事实上呢，它是什么？
It doesn't matter how you call it anymore. Okay? So it's a long demonstration to tell you that if you stick around, it's because your nature, your makeup is becoming more good. I'm not saying better. I'm just has more goodness in it. It's not about better. It's about goodness content. Are we being clear? Are we clear on this? That's why I believe the same thing happened at the Six Patriarchs Temple as well. These people who got to the level of confusion and not stupidity anymore have a lot of goodness in them already. Right?
到这个迷的程度呢，其实在他们的心里面呢，已经是有足够的善，让他们可以达到那个程度呢。那为什么要修善呢？
They're good already. Continue to do what they've been doing. That's point number one. Do not cultivate the good. Yes?
这就是为什么
That's point number one. You are doing the good thing already. You're cultivating the good already. Okay?
所以呢，所以为什么
Number two, stop discriminating.
第二呢，就是不要再分别了。
It's no good. It's no bad either. It's no good either.
是没有好跟没有坏的。
There's nothing whatsoever. Okay? So this is the do not cultivate here is for those people who have limited wisdom already, the arhats already, the arhat range already. Is it clear? It's not for the commonplace. The patriarchs, if people came to him and practiced at his temple, they will reach good levels. No two ways about it. So far, so good? All right. Next is a tongue. Okay. Yeah. What does tongue mean?
It means
yes, 6.
Jane said tongue is better translated to rising or rising up. Like 热气腾腾, it means hot steam rising up. Stirred up, agitated.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. Higher and higher is the translation.
Higher and higher. Okay.
Please make the correction for me. Tongue is higher and higher, or soar and soar. Yes, Q&A.
I have Master Xuanhua's translation.
宣化上人的翻译。
So he's saying, 腾腾就是逍遥自在，很悠游自得的样子。So 腾腾 is very easy, very 很好玩，一天到晚都很快乐。It's easy going and happy. That's in his interpretation.
这是宣化上
Another interpretation?
Master Xuanhua's explanation of the sutra.
Okay. I don't like his explanation.
我不喜欢他的解释。
Okay. The reason I translate it differently because I'm trying to be consistent with the first thing. See, 呜呜腾腾 it's together.
是在一起的。
That's why I contrast alone and diligent with soar and soar.
Alone and diligent 跟 soar.
Okay, his explanation has different slant. Mine is I choose to do it this way because even though you're alone and diligent, remember, okay, you're doing this in order to soar at higher. Do not ever be complacent. It's not about doing. It's about improving. Koreans, Sunims, do you hear me? You stick around long enough, you become good, more the good remains. More impurities are gone, and you will soar and soar and soar.
你就会一直
Yes, number
往
4.
上升。第四
My dictionary has soaring and rising.
soaring and rising.
Ching! I don't like rising. Soar and soar is much better, much more meaningful in our context.
我不喜欢 rising.
Okay?
Soar 听
Soar and
起来是好
soar.
的 Soar soar.
Okay? That contrasts with do not do evil.
就是不
How
要
can you
做恶
soar
的
and
意
do
思
evil?
因为你如果做恶，
You
你不
can't.
会往上升呢？你不会啊。
As you soar and soar in our
但你越往
practice,
上升的时
you
候呢，
cannot do evil.
你就没有办法做恶。
The reason you're not
那
soaring
为
is
什么你没有
because
再
you're
往上
doing
升呢？
evil
因为你在做恶，
and don't think it's not
不要觉
noticed.
得没有人在注意到。
Do you get it?
你懂吗？
Just watch.
你就注意
The requirement for soaring is
这
to
个能够
not
往上升呢，
do
就是
evil.
就是你不做恶，
It's beautiful
是
instructions, let
非
me tell
常
you.
棒的这个指示。
Why?
为什么呢？
Okay, I give it back to the Koreans. They should know
我
this.
就给韩国人，韩国人应该知道。
Yes? Koreans, why
韩国
do
人
not do evil?
为什么呢？不做恶呢？
You should be able to answer that. On the Koreans,
应该要
oh
知
my
道
God,
的。
Master is now
这
putting
是
pressure
师父
on
呢
us
现
again.
在是把这个压力又放在我们身上了。
Is one take there or is still
王太
hiding?
是在那呢，他还是在躲着呢。
If you want to soar and soar,
你要往上升
refrain yourself from doing
你就
evil
不要再
because
做
if
恶
you
呢
do evil,
因
you
为
are
你做恶
actually
呢，你其实呢
stopping yourself.
就在停止你自己。
You think you outsmart people.
你觉得你
Actually,
比别人厉害，
you're only
但是
stopping
呢，
yourself.
你只是在停止你自己而已。
You think you can outsmart
你
Master.
以为你可以比师傅厉害，
You're obstructing yourself.
你只是在障你自己而已。
Next. I love these verses, by the way.
因为我很喜欢这个记。
You see, now I wouldn't want to go through this previous commentary because it would undo its unnecessary influence on my
因为
translation.
我之
Next,
前讲的这个这个解释呢，会是影响我的。295页呢，
乱见文。
乱见文。
Is there a translation explanation for 急急 as a phrase or not? Or 当当?
当当
Are there explanations for those? Chinese people, please help us out.
当当
You see, this is a Chinese heritage that they have. We don't have. They understand these. They have these phrases. That mean something to them, and we don't have a clue. So the first thing you do is check the dictionary and make sure that you learn, you peek into their culture. So Jiji, I doubt that they have a use, particular use for the phrase or tang tang, maybe tang tang there's. Huh? Chinese people, help us out, please. Q&A.
I don't think there are particular different meaning when they're doubled up like this. It's pretty much G is G and the duplicate just for the sound and the matching in other parts of the words. So G.
What about the other? Dang dang.
Dang dang is again. I don't think the two of them make difference, but then the vast, Dang is very similar to Tan, like Master explained before about straight mind. It's like
I don't know what I explained before. I explained, I forget.
There is vast. There's also what's it called? Ping, flat, straightforward. The Tan is yeah. I didn't look up the dictionary. I'm just looking at the words themselves.
Okay, again, what is the meaning of Tang? Tang means what?
Tang.
Can you let me? Yeah.
It means flat or
flat.
Not restricted.
Restricted, okay. Unrestricted. What else?
And also, if it's a verb, means swinging. But I think here it's an adjective, meaning it's vast, it's not restricted, it's flat, it's open.
Okay, okay, very good. Translation is pretty good. Okay. Okay. Can we do it our way? Okay, we're not going to stick to the Chinese. Okay. I'm taking liberal liberties here. Please bear with me. Okay. Still and stiller.
Still and stiller.
Because I wanted to observe the same N here. Okay. Because in Chinese have 呜呜腾腾 ji ji dang dang. Okay, so it's poetic. It has a rhythm. So that's why when we translate, we should. It's not high. What is it? Soar. This is wrong. This should be changed. Can we change this, please? Correct the text. Okay. So anyway, so the still here. So I would say still and stiller.
所以我们就说积极。Maybe get out of the presentation mode.
What?
Get out of presentation mode. Yeah. Oh, he's changing the commentary.
Okay. Still and stiller. Is there a vaster or it sounds pretty nasty. Vaster. Huh? Is there a vaster? English majors, help us out.
英文的这个
Huh? No.
No.
Never heard of it. More vast, right? You never say vaster. How about broad? Broad and broader. Change it, please. Now I'll explain to you.
And broader. 然后你改了，然后我现在解释给你听。He's changing. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, it rhymes. Okay, and should be in caps here. Go ahead, Q&A.
Master, vaster is a word. It's the comparative adjective of vast.
Oh, it is. Well, I never heard of it, vaster. Okay, I don't like this word, vaster. It's a little bit, to me, it sounds a little bit naughty. I prefer the naughtier term, broader and broader.
我喜欢更顽皮的，就是 broad and broader.
Okay, we have a little fun on the Chinese. Okay, shall we go? Still and stiller, cut off sight and sound. Very good. Okay. Still your mind. Yes? 6 patriarchs is Chan master. So their core training is Chan. Let's face it. Okay? So Chan is about stilling your mind. Make your mind still. Okay? And your mind is still, you still have to make it stiller. You like? I can spin it any way you like. And cut off sight and sound. Okay? Because stop looking. Stop listening. Okay? Meaning that for some people, why would you have to stop listening? Because you are looking for rumors. You want to hear gossip and rumors, especially in a big assembly like Master Huineng's. His temple has a few thousand people, so there's a lot of gossiping. Does it make sense to you? You're not there. That's why you have no clue. It's thousands of people. The Chinese gossip like crazy. It's a fact. Vietnamese never do that.
越南人从来不会这样做的。
Okay, so that's why you don't look for gossip. Okay, and you don't look for what?
所以叫你不要去。
What do you do when you're in big assembly? What do you look for in big assembly?
大法会你会做什么？你要找好看的人。
Yes or no?
对不对？
Am I the only one?
我只是唯一的吗
？Spy number 1 doesn't find it funny.
所以间谍1号并不这么觉得。
Go ahead, 8.
Mô Phật và Thầy nói về những người tổ đó, giống như sư phụ với lục tổ Huệ Năng đó, thì mình có nghe qua những cái tích. Thầy những người đó tu đó, những người đệ tử đó, là theo ngài là ngài xô trong vô cái bóng tối hết, không có cho ra một cái ánh sáng. Thầy bây giờ mình thấy những người bây giờ pháp sư thuyết pháp cũng rất là nhiều, đã xô người ta ra một cái ánh sáng, không có cho người ta thấy được cái bóng tối. Thầy bởi vì ngài Hòa thượng Tuyên Hóa đó, ngày xưa đó, thầy ở trong cái bóng tối, đệ tử cũng ở trong cái bóng tối cũng ít lắm, đâu có người ta theo ông nhiều đâu. Ở trong cái bóng tối thì chúng sanh đâu có thấy được cái bóng tối của ngài tu tới đâu. Bởi vì tới ngày mà muốn tịch rồi đó, thì người ta biết ngài là Bồ Tát đó, hằng hà sa số theo ngài, thì ngài đã tịch rồi.
Okay.
Mô Phật.
Translation.
Amitabha Master, so like Shifu or the 6 patriarch Huineng, they have a lot of disciples, and then they all put their disciple into the darkness. They didn't really let them out to the bright. So nowadays there are a lot of Dharma master that they speak a lot of Dharma, and then they all bring everyone out into the bright. And they don't let people stay in the darkness. But the Shifu, he has been cultivated in darkness. He kept his disciples in darkness. So that's why not many people knew about him until when he passed away. Then they knew that he was a bodhisattva, and then countless of people came to him.
Very good. Okay. Still and stiller. Okay, cut off sight and sound. Sight, stop looking for forms, for nice forms. Is that clear? Sound, the Chinese should stop gossiping, and the Vietnamese should stop looking for praises. And the Koreans, I don't know what's their problems yet. Can the Sunims help us out? What do you look for sounds for the Koreans?
在韩国人的见闻都在找什么呢？
We wait. Take all the time you need. Sangwok Sunim. Now is your chance to shine. Use only one word. No, that's not one word. That's two.
Praise.
Praise. See, Koreans are like Vietnamese. They love to be praised. Okay? Is that true?
是真的吗？
Is Sangwok Sunim wrong?
三位司令是对的。
Two Mountain Temple people, you agree or disagree?
你们同意还是不同意？
It's only being recorded and put on YouTube for a lot of people to listen to this and learn about you Koreans for the next few centuries.
给这个韩国人下几世纪继续听下
Yes,
来。
Soju Sunim.
Soju Sunim， 请说。Do you need a mic?
Hello. Yeah, Master. Praise, and then one more thing is control.
Control.
自由。
Okay. Control. What is the sound of control?
那 control 见闻 control
Is
是
a whip?
什么？
How do you control people in Korea?
你怎么样控制别人？
For us in America, it's a leather whip.
美国呢，就是给他那个鞭子。
Huh? Koreans are so boring. They say, this is inappropriate.
这个是。
All right, can we move on? Okay, okay. So it's control and praise. Huh? Okay, interesting. Okay, next. Broad and broader, the mind unattached. And this is very important. These people, when you realize, and these people realize that they, at that level, okay, the mind is able to be very broad, very accepting, okay, can absorb a lot of things. Okay? And in particular, those people, for example, who have been told to reach third stage Arhat, it feels very, very good. Okay? And broader reminds you that it's still much better. Much better is still to come. You ain't got nothing yet. That's the southern way of putting it. Okay, so yes, you broad, but you can be broader. Your mind can be broader. How? By not attaching. Questions or comments? Yes, number 7.
Master, I would call what the sixth patriarch is talking about in broad and broader. Maybe another definition would be the vastness of
其实呢，
stillness.
就是说是它的这个
That's correct. Why is it vast? Do you know?
为什么是寂静？为什么叫做荡荡呢？
You're no longer attached,
因为
good
你就
or
不再
bad.
执着
You're not
好跟
attached.
坏了。
Very good. It's vast because it experiences, what do you call in English? Why do we call something that's vast?
就是说
Space.
为什么坦荡呢？
The final frontier is vast. And Captain Kirk, you get on SpaceX
它像
soon, aren't you?
你到
So
这个
it's
final
vaster.
frontier 呢，所以呢，它就是非常坦荡的。
Koreans don't understand this.
韩
It's
国人
okay.
不懂的。
You see, us rich, English people have a rich experience with space. Okay, so broad and broader, the mind has to be unattached. Okay, there's a lot more going on, but I'm not going to explain to you. When you get there, you'll be taught. All right? It's not meant. This thing here, the last one, is not meant for us to explain everything to you.
就是我们应该跟你解释的东西。
Next, 296.
200
After speaking this verse, the master sat upright into the third watch, and suddenly he said to his disciples, I am going.
师说既已端坐至三更，忽谓门人曰：“吾行矣。”
I don't feel like going anymore. Can we stop here? I feel like discussing his leaving.
我不想要讲，
Someone
我
takes
不想要
over,
讲
please.
他离开，有没有人可不可以
Oh,
继
monk,
续讲
are
这
you
个部
awake?
分？
You explain. I don't want to explain anymore.
我不想要讲了。
This is a sad
这
part.
个是很
I only want good feeling.
很令人
No
悲伤的
goodbyes,
部分，我
please.
只要感到，我想
It
要
would
只
kill
要
me
讲
if
这
I
个
were
好的
over
开心
there
的
and
地
the
方。
master Huineng says,
慧
I'm
能
leaving.
大师说呢，
I'm going. I'm gone.
我在这。
I want. No. That's why I bring the fault along. You agree? I think we should stop here and not discuss the rest. I'm not interested in the rest. I'm sorry. Okay? It's a personal thing with me. Yes, number 2.
Thank you, Master. I do have to point out that the sixth patriarch has been he's been dying in these lectures for like 5 weeks now.
但是我必须要讲说，他已经在他的
This guy is so graphic.
的课，他已经死了，大概已经有5周
I
了吧。
mean,
但是我的意思
could we
是
have
说
some
呢，
compassion and let him go
不
already?
可以有一点这个慈悲，让他赶快走呢？
Okay. I hear you. Okay, let's have some compassion.
好，我们有一点慈悲心。
So Master, in the commentary in 297, the Master Srinivas says, the Master sat meditating with his disciples until the middle of the night at 12 o'clock when he said, the time has come to go. See you all again. His energy was cut off and he no longer moved, and then he became like that photo in the back.
就像那个照片后面那
You
张
see
照
that
片一样，
photo?
你没有看到那个照片吗？
Can
可不
someone
可以有
lift
的
the photo
有一
for
个人
everyone
去
to
把
see?
他那
Bring
个
it
照
here
片拿
so
下
that I
来，
can show people,
所以
please.
我可以告
Okay?
诉你们了。
And he had entered Nirvana. So
然后他就入
Chinese.
定了。
Okay. The Chinese love to say, the Chinese, Vietnamese, Asians say, oh, the master entered Nirvana. And when I hear that, ooh, my skin was crawling. I say, oh God, how can you talk like that?
就说你可不可以？
Yeah, I can pass around. Okay, you can kiss them too. So American. They like it. They kiss the Pope, you know.
像美国，好像美国人一样，对，让他们看那个
Say,
照片。
say, so,
你们可
you
以
know,
亲吻那个照片。
I am sorry.
那
All due respect to the Chinese, you don't say he entered Nirvana. To me, it's so insulting.
涅槃对我来说是非常
Okay?
误入的。
Let him decide.
让他
You don't know that.
你不知道。
Yes, Ahang. 3.
Master, this question Malcolm asked me. I don't know how to explain. Is that Malcolm asked how come he's always been black like that, or what happened? Why is he black? Is he a black monk?
Deep down, he's from the south.
他是一个
He returned to his roots. Tell Malcolm, haven't you heard of going back to your roots, going back to your origin?
回到你的这个根吗？
Stupid question.
真是一个愚痴的问题。
What's with the Americans? They don't get anything, do they? What is black becomes black again.
本来是黑的，就会变成黑的。
Okay. So, after he finished the verses, okay, he didn't say a single word. He simply closed his eyes and meditated. And good thing there were no American disciples back then in China. Because China, the Americans say, "Oh, before you go, can I ask you a final question?" I'm sorry, Master. I know you're busy, but can I ask last chance for me? No, the Chinese are very polite, like the Koreans. Okay. They just, if Master doesn't speak, they don't speak. Does it make sense? So, number 8, yeah.
Mô Phật và Thầy, giống lục tổ gì đó, tịch rồi đó thì cái thằng thác nó ra cái màu đen. Sư phụ cũng vậy nữa, để trong cái tủ kiến đó 49 ngày cũng ra một cái màu đen. Rồi mình đó, chúng sanh mình ở đây nè, tịch rồi đó, cái thằng xanh lè hả? Xong hai cái nó có khác biệt gì không thầy?
Master, the sixth patriarch, after he passed away, his body turned black. Same thing with Shifu. Like for 49 days, they put him into the case, the glass case, and then his body turned black too. But living beings, after they die, their body turned green. Is there any differences between the colors?
The difference is that for normal people, when you look at them, in spite of the makeup they put here, when you go to the funeral homes, you see there's all this makeup and the rouge and the lipstick. In spite of that, there's a black energy from the corpses. Yes or no? Typically, the black energy, the majority of the time, I see black energy when I go to funeral homes, especially looking at these dead corpses. Okay, it's because they are sinking. The falling. That's why. You don't need to touch the knees or whatever, or the legs or whatever. No, you look at them, you can tell that this black energy enveloping them, meaning they're falling.
在形成的表示他们已经在堕入了3道了。
Okay,
往下堕
so that's why.
这就是
But
为什么。
for
但是
I
呢
don't know about the sixth patriarch, but I was there
但是
when
呢
Master
当
Shenhua
宣化上人走的时候，我是在的。
entered Nirvana,
入涅槃的时候
and
呢，
his skin also was of the bronze
皮肤
color,
的
a
颜色
little
呢，
bit
其
lighter
实也是
than Master
咖啡
Huineng.
色呢，比这个
Okay.
慧能大师这个
I'm
比
not
较
sure
浅
why.
一点
I。mean, it's
我
a
不太
Chan
知道
skill,
为
I'm
什么，
pretty
可
sure.
能是
These
跟他们的
Chan
禅的功夫
patriarchs
是
have
有
the
关系
ability
的，
to
因为
do
他们
that.
是禅
But
师，所以他们是可以这样子做
but
的。但是呢，
if I look back, now I
如
look
果
back
我
at that
去看
that corpse of his with
那
the
个是他的尸
the
体，
color, a bronze color,
那个咖
like
啡
the
色的那
statue,
个
bronze
颜色呢，
statues.
像这个铜色的那个颜色，
Very similar
铜色
in
的颜
color.
色，
whatever bronze statue you see, I don't know, we have one here, but go to Lumang Temple, there's some big bronze statues of Medicine Master Buddha and the Earth Store Bodhisattva. It's a similar color, okay, but lighter. Okay. Sixth patriarch color you're looking right now is darker bronze, darker brown. The Master Shehua's color was lighter bronze. Okay, and the difference is that there's no light at all. Okay, no dark light, nor bright light. It's nothing whatsoever.
没有暗的光跟亮的光，什么都没有。
That's the difference.
那是差别。
All right.
好吗
Okay, so Master Hui Neng finished the verses and just closed his eyes and sat. And they sat there together until for a few hours. Okay, and no one was going. Okay, until 12 o'clock. At midnight, and then he opened his eyes and said, I'm gone. I'm going. Okay? He said, 无形.
无形语.
Okay, I'm going is fine. Okay? Meaning I'm taking my leave. It's not going, but it means the Sing here is going. Yes, Sing is going. I'm leaving. But actually, the polite says, I'm taking my leave. Okay? I'm leaving. I'm not going. I'm leaving. Okay? So it's okay. Yeah, I have no problem with I'm going. I'm going is it's okay too. Slightly better. I'm leaving. Okay? Okay. All right. So he said, "I'm going," instead of saying "I'm goodbye" or "sayonara" or "hasta luego," "hasta la vista," okay, and so forth. You know what I'm talking about, Andres? He says, "I'm going." Okay. Meaning what? Why didn't you say goodbye?
他为什么不说再见呢
Everything he does
他每做的一
has a
件
very
事呢
subtle
都是有
message.
非常细微的
I'm leaving.
这个
I'm going.
讯息。他说我
Not
我走
goodbye.
了，不是再
See
见，
you again.
就再看到你一次。
See you later. Like Americans like to say.
上次
No, he said, I'm
美
going.
国人说，他
Very,
说
very
我
Chinese.
决定去
Go ahead,
非常
Q&A.
Q&A， 请说。
The old monk now will explain the rest of the sutra for you.
现在
Now
呢，
he's ready.
这个老和尚呢会把剩下的经文讲给你听。
A Di Đà Phật. Con thấy ngài Huệ Năng đi đó, đối với con là không có gì là buồn. Tại vì trước đó 180 mấy năm này có một người Ấn Độ qua, là 160 năm sau sẽ có một vị Bồ Tát tái sanh ở đây, tức là chỗ quê của ngài đó. Thì ngài là một cảnh giới Bồ Tát, ngài tới. Con nhận dịch đi.
Master, the fact that the sixth patriarch Huineng goes, like for me, there's nothing to be sad about, because 180 years before that, there was an Indian monk had the prediction that 160 years later there will be a bodhisattva come.
Thành ra những cái vị mà tu chứng như vậy đó, người ta không có đến không đi, đã nhập vào cái Như Lai là cái tính Phật rồi thì như chẳng đến chẳng đi, thì đâu có gì phải goodbye. Hòa thượng Đại Hóa ở nói là đi thì đi đâu, mà đến thì ở đâu đến, thì nó nhập vào cái đó rồi. Đâu có vui có buồn gì đâu, khi đủ duyên thì người ta hiện ra, không đủ duyên thì trở về sắc thức thì không thôi. Đâu có gì phải nói đi hay đi đâu. Hòa thượng Đại Hóa người nhắc chỗ đó trong mấy cái băng của Ngài giảng á. Nên Ngài không có dùng chữ đi. Mà bằng chứng là sau này những người có duyên Ngài vẫn tới Ngài dạy bây giờ, thời bây giờ nè. Hoặc là sau khi Ngài Tiên Hóa ngồi ở mộ mẹ Ngài đó, Ngài Huệ Năng cũng tới dạy. Rồi sau này cũng có nhiều người được dạy. Và chính con cũng nhiều lần cảm thấy Ngài dạy đó. Hồi trưa này lấy cái hình kỷ niệm của Ngài ở chùa năm qua mà 1500 năm. Thì con được cái đó cũng một cách giống như Xá Lợi vậy đó. Con xin qua Trung Quốc thăm mà người ta không cho đi. Thì đi về chùa để ba lô xuống vô lại Phật thì có sẵn cái hình kỷ niệm 1500 năm ở chùa Lưu Thương Tử rồi. Thì cái đó có phải là mà Ngài chẳng đến chẳng đi không? Rồi con nói với bạn đạo ở đây cái đó con coi như là một cái Xá Lợi đối với con nha. Xin hết.
So to me, those people they already attend, they already complete their cultivation, so they don't go and they don't come. So they enter the state of dust and moving. So there's no going, there's no coming, because like Master Xunhua said, if you are going, then where are you going? If you are coming, where are you coming from? So everything they do is based on condition. If there is the affinity, they will come. So for example, Master Xunhua, when he was observing filiality at his mom's tomb for 3 years, and then Master Huineng came and taught him. So, and then Master Xunhua, after he passed away, a lot of people still receive his help. A lot of people, including me. So I also received the teaching from him.
所以我呢，基本上呢还是接受到宣化上人的教导。还有另外一个就是我遇到了慧能大师呢的照片，跟我说呢，他们的。
There was one time that I wanted to go to China to visit Master Huineng Temple, but I couldn't get a visa. So when I came back to the US, and then at Blue Mountain Temple, and then I saw the picture of Master Huineng.
我没有办法，因为 visa 的问题我没办法去。结果我来到庐山寺呢，我就看到这个。宣化上人呢，就看到这个宣化上人的像，但是就算呢，我那时候没有办法在中国呢遇见他，看到他呢，但是我回来中国，我看到他的照片，他的照片就是如同这个舍利一般。还有没有任何别人要说为什么他说我走了？无心意，无心意。
Yes, 6.
Diego said that's why he said I'm leaving so they can follow him in the future to where he is going.
他就说，他说我已经走了，就是呢，所以他就可以跟着他去跟随他的脚步。
Okay. You can do either way.
师父说，
you can
你
explain
怎
it
么
as I'm
怎么
going,
解释
I'm
都可以，
leaving.
可以说
Okay.
是
I'm
我
going. Okay. If you say I'm going,
你可以说我离
meaning
开，
what?
也可以说我走了。
The Chinese
这
has
个
multiple
中文
meanings
呢，
in
其实在
their
中文里面有
vocabulary
很
and
几
their
种
words.
不
So
同的
that's
含
why
义
it's
里
very
面，所
difficult
以其
for
实是
us
非
to
常困难
completely
的，
translate
对
it.
我们
五行 here
完
is
全
I'm going.
的
Okay?
翻译它，
Meaning what?
准确的翻译它。
I'm
无
going on a
心意
trip.
在这里说，可以说我已
I'm
经
gonna
去
retire.
一
Okay?
个
I'm
旅行去了，
going
或者
into
是
retirement.
我可能要
One reason.
retire，
Okay?
就是我
One
要
explanation.
退休。
You believe that?
你同意吗
Number 2.
第二
I'm
呢？
going
第二，我
to
同意
work.
我要去工作。
Next mission
下
impossible.
一个
Ghost protocol.
不可能的任务。
Understand?
懂吗？
I'm going on
所
my
以就
next
说我走了，第三个
assignment,
呢，
on to my next
我
assignment.
下一个这个执行我要下一个做的
Does
事
it make
情，
sense? That's why
懂
he
吗？
says 行. He
所
didn't
以
say
我说行，
再见. I
不是
see you
说再
again.
见，
Goodbye.
并不代表
No,
说
I
我
said
要
no.
看
I'm
到你。
going. So it's very
但是
factual for
这
him
是
from
非
his
常实际
perspective.
的，但是对我来说
I'm
呢，
gone. I'm going.
我说我行
I'm
呢，
going
就
to
是我已
work.
经走了，我们回去，我们去工作。
So far, so good. I'm leaving.
我已经我要
You
离
could
开
also
了，
explain it as
也是可以解
translated
释
as
成
I'm leaving
也可以
as
翻
well.
成我已经要离开了。
Okay? What does it mean? Why
意思
would
是什么呢？为什
why
么他
would we
说
translate it
为什么
as
可以
leaving?
翻成要离开呢？
He could have simply
他可以简单的说
died and
我
said
死
nothing.
了，
But no, he said,
或者
I'm
是
leaving. And then, poof, he's gone.
他可以就
Okay.
走，不说任何一句话，
You
但
could
是
say
他要
it's a
说
show off.
我已经走了，然后才不
Okay, he
见。
says,
你可以说他是
I
在
decided to die
现
now. Huh?
他就说哦，我决定我现在要走了，
I'm dead.
就意思就是说，所以我要走了，我已经要死
Is
了。
that clear? It's a show off,
所以
if you
其实
will.
是在表现
Okay.
他自己，
See if you can do that.
看你可不可以这样
Let's,
做。
let's see if
看你呢
Brady can do it.
，Brady 可不可以这样做？
Okay? He can die
他可以
at
就是
will.
这样子，想死就死。
It's a Chinese Chan
这个
patriarch
是
show off,
中
if you
国
will.
禅师呢，
Okay?
在
So
表现
I'm leaving.
他自己。
Goodbye.
他
I'm
说
leaving.
我走了，再
Okay?
见。
I'm leaving has a
我走了
goodbye sense.
所
Okay?
以当说我行矣
But-
呢，有道别的意思。
But why
但是为
would
什么
you
呢
use leaving?
为什么要做
Because-
行呢？行的
Because
意
what?
思是什么呢？
Okay, you patriarchs out there
OK，你
better
们这
answer
些
this.
祖师们可以回答这个问题。Patriarch，
Raise your hand, please.
举手。
Go ahead, patriarch 2.
OK，Patriarch two，祖师2号。
Thank you, man.
It's so appropriate. There's a second
也
patriarch.
就是
He
第
may
二
be
个
it.
Patriarch，可能就是他。
Go ahead, sir.
请说，
Why?
为什么呢？
In my experience, you say you're
在
leaving
我的
when
经
you're
验，
going
他
on
说
a
你
trip.
说我要走，就表示你通常是要
Okay.
去一个
So
远行，通常是你要
I
远
agree
行
with。the new
所以我
assignment,
同
but
意的，它是有新
I
的
think
这个
first, you have to
任
get
务要
to the
完
new
成。
assignment. There's a
但
lot,
但
there's
是
a
你
long
必
way
须
to
要，
travel
但
for the
是
sixth patriarch to
其
get
实
to where
对
he's
六祖来
going.
说，要去他的地
So
方要走
American.
很远的地
Anyone
方，一个
else?
非常美式的答案。
Yes. Helena of Troy.
感谢法师，我的想法哈，是因为六祖他修行，他的修道，他修行已经很高
他说：“我
了，
觉得六祖
所
的修
以他自
行很高了。
己他会知道他什么时候会走，他的时日已到了，所以他就跟人家说我走了，那就是他要去哪里了，对不对？就这样的想法，谢谢。
Very good. Very good. Translation.
I think that because his patriarchs cultivate at a very high level, so he knows approximately what time he's ready to go.
Yeah. Very good. It's very Chinese. The Chinese is very polite. Say, I'm leaving now. Yes, I'm leaving now. Okay. Now it's time for me to go.
所以他就说：“
I'm
这是
leaving
我
now.
应该
So
要走
sort
的
of
时间。”
instead of saying
他
goodbye,
说
I'm leaving now. Right? Very good. It's so Chinese.
这是非常
It takes a
中
Chinese
文
to
的时
understand
间
that，mindset.
是一个
Number
中国
8.
人才能够理解的。
Mô Phật Bạch Thầy, Ngài Hòa Thượng Tiên Hóa nói đó, từ hư không đến thì trở về với hư không. Thầy bây giờ mình không nói Ngài tịch, Ngài không có tịch. Thì bây giờ Ngài còn ở với hư không này, mình cần thì Ngài tới giúp mình thôi. Mô Phật.
Master Xunhua, he said that I came from empty space and now I
这话说
return
我
to
从
empty
这个
space.
虚
So
空来，而
he
回
didn't
虚空
really
去，所以他
go into
并没有
extinction. So whenever living being need him, and then he will come.
只要众生来
Very good.
需要他的话，他就会来。第6。
Jane said the correct pronunciation is 乌行乙。
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 She said in the 6 patriarchs' time it means moving. Hang means moving.
Okay. I'm moving. Okay, that's very good. Yeah, I'm moving. I'm moving on.
我是动的。
I'm moving on.
我是动的。
Okay, excellent.
我去。
Okay, thank you for the contribution. Wu Hang. Okay, very good. Wu Hang. Oh, I'm moving. I'm changing my address. Okay, please forward to to such and such place. My mail. Yes, excellent.
请到
Okay.
请
Anyone else would like to contribute? This is these moments are very
这个时间呢，其实是非常重要的。
Go ahead, Q&A.
I think here the meaning of the word is just load or on the load. So maybe you can translate it to be I'm on my way. I'm on the way.
I'm on my way. That's fine too.
I don't think it actually has the meaning of leaving. There's nothing saying leaving in that.
没有说离开的意思。
It just means load on the load. I'm on the load.
What? I'm going on 007 or where's the load thing here?
什么 load 的意思是什么呢
？What?
Oh, on the load. Oh, on the load again.
On my way, on the road.
Yeah,
I'm not American speaking our song.
Sorry, because I'm so used to that. On the load again. Okay.
I also have a question.
Yeah. Shoot.
So it is a saying that people will have sort of pre-see that prediction of one's own death a little bit ahead of time, maybe a day ahead or a few days ahead. I read stories like that on a book in Chinese history. Doesn't necessarily have to be a very high level cultivator. It seems like even just a decent one. I don't know. Just like stories I read, it's not always like really high level masters. And also in my family, there are examples of that.
不需要是高深修行的人呢，他们就会知道。
Great aunt or someone like that, then she also would just say that. She basically like asked them to help bring her coffin out a few days ahead.
他其实就在甚至我自己家里面就有这样的经验，就是说他们已经知道呢，就是他们其实都知道是差不多的时间，他就叫大家呢，就是
you don't need to be high level to know when you're gonna die. Okay, not at all.
就是他知道，就请大家请这个家人去帮他这个做这个棺材，所以呢，他们就问师父说，是不是需要高的修行程度才知道他什么时候该走了？
Master, I think
是不是说就说不是需要高的程度
is I am leaving, and if he is leaving, he's implying he's no longer going to be present to teach his disciples, and that seems to be keeping with the whole part of this section of his lecture.
Very good. Yes, JMT.
JMT, 请说。
Oh my God, they're alive.
Master,
Go ahead. Yeah.
I think the master sixth patriarch said he's leaving or going, so it's your turn, his disciple, to do his work, their work.
他的意思，他要说的就是说是这个弟子该继续做他的工作。
Okay. Anyone else? Yes. 3.
Master, I think he just means he's leaving this body.
He's leaving his body, yes.
我觉得他就只是在离开他的
This is why this is the depth of the Chinese culture. Okay, you see, we spent half an hour talking about this. this hang here, this thing here. It's how profound the culture is. Like it or not. You may not like China now, but you have to love the culture. It is so profound. Yes, Guru.
Master, my teacher's mom, before she passed, she came to leave a message for me to tell her son to come visit her because it's her time to go. So I don't think it's necessarily have to do with Chinese only. My master is American.
No, I'm not talking about knowing when you're dead. I'm just saying this character is Xing Han. The Chinese character here has so many connotations. Okay? Very good. It's true. You don't need to be high level at all. Okay? Any other comments? Okay, very good. Thank you for your contribution. Let me add one more for your consideration. He's emotional. He could have said nothing. The true Chan master would have said nothing.
真的禅师呢会怎么说呢
Agree? What's there to say? The best, the most eloquent goodbye is to say nothing. Just sit and then die
我觉得最
Because
优雅的
if
离
you say
开呢，就
something,
是
your
坐在那
disciple who's
离
sitting
开，
with
因
you
为
might miss out on becoming enlightened.
因为你如果说任何话的话，你跟你做的
You're
一些弟子们，
disrupting
他
their
们可能
practice.
呢，可能是不会去，
Does it make
可
sense?
能会
So the
失去
Chan
了觉悟的
master,
聚
I
会，所以这个
submit to
禅
you, the
师
true
呢，我跟
Chan
你们说，
master would
那
have
两
said
个禅修
nothing
说，
because
真的
simply
真的
died.
禅修呢，就会自然而然走，他不会说什么，
You agree?
同意吗？
To me, a typical Chan master would have simply died. Okay? And yet,
真的
he
禅
said,
修，
open his eyes, I'm leaving. As if I'm free.
就是表示说啊，我终于可以自由了。
Huh? Free. Free. Finally free. What did Martin Luther King say? Free at last. How many times? Just once? 3 times I heard. Free at last. Free at last. Thank God I'm free at last. Okay? What's Martin Luther King in this country say? Okay? He's a brown person, I understand. Okay? But it's atypical. This is why this is teacher is no ordinary teacher. The Chan master who have said nothing and just died. This one, this one here, he, hello.
尤其是这个呢，
This one here opened his eyes and said, I'm going, I'm leaving. Okay? And because why? Oh, you don't understand, do you? You don't get it, do you? Why? Yes, Andres. 7.
Well, it shows he has really, really, really great compassion.
Okay, compassion.
For his students because he is willing to forego the
因为他说
the pride
就
of being a
是
great Chan
他
master.
可能是
And
Because
需要有这个
Andres in the
这个慈
future,
悲
they were in
心
the future, in the 21st century, and there's a guy called Andres Fault who says, boy, I thought you were a great Chan patriarch, but you actually are not. Your last action speaks so loudly how low level you are. Okay. Anyone else? He said, I'm leaving. Okay? Because
他说我要离开，那是因为呢，他其实自己已经情绪化了，感情化了。
That's why I adore him. The typical Chan patriarch would simply die, okay, and say nothing. And then all the disciples, oh, the master is so special. He made it with us. And then he passed away peacefully without any illness, with a smile on his face, and so forth. And they lauded him. Right, 师父呢就会离开，就说哇，师父呢，他们就 What a great teacher he was, 怎么样的 right? 是好的大师呢？ You know, what is that?
但是呢
It's no big deal. My leaving you. It's not even worth mentioning it. He's such a great teacher.
他是
He's a
非常好的
true Chan teacher
真的是
who
诚
came
实。
the right way and left and teaching us how to live
但是
in
告诉我们呢，
with grace, with solemnity. Yes? That's how the Chinese
这是
students
中
would
文
react to.
这
They
样子
know.
做的。
He opened his eyes and say,
然后就
I'm
说呢，
leaving. Because he's emotional.
因为他是情绪化的，因为他张开眼睛呢说了，因为他其实自己已经情绪化了。
Okay. Where's the picture? Is it behind me or in front of
照
me?
片在哪
His photo. Oh, okay. Something hit me in the back. Okay. I'm taking liberties.
所以我
My
在讲
interpretation,
这
this
是
is
我
my
的这个
personal
解释，
interpretation.
这
He
是
had to
我个
open
人的
his
解释。
his eyes and open
你
his
必须
mouth and
要
say,
呢
I'm going, I'm leaving. Okay?
他必须，这是我个人的解释啦
Because。
他必须要张开眼睛
I
说
hate
啊，我离开了，
Having to leave you.
因为他其实不想要，他其实不想要离开。
I'm sorry, I have to go.
抱歉，我必须要走了。他其实是这个意思。
Because
因为呢，
last lesson from him
因为我
is
最后的这个学到的是，
Chinese don't get this.
中文其实
Okay.
中国人其实不懂的。
Let's stop the Chinese channel.
我们把这个中文解释
Okay.
for real，
In all due respect to
因
the
为
Chinese
对中国
culture,
人的
we will
那
not
个道理，
burden them
我
with
们不要把
our
它
liberal
不要把我们这个
American
自由的这
interpretation.
个美国
We
的这
agree
个
on
解
that?
释呢，
This is very
同意
American
呢，
interpretation.
我们是非常美式的解释。
I'm going. Because
还是说我要做？
why would he do that?
为什么要
Because
这么做呢？
he's doing that
因为呢，
because he's
我们这么
teaching
做就是要跟
his
他们说，
Chinese students
因为
one
他在教
last
他的中文的
lesson
学生呢，最后一个这
that
个
I
教
don't
训。
think they
但是
realize
我不知
what
道
the
他们
last
真的
lesson was.
最后
Thank you.
所说的。
I'm taking liberties.
我不要，
Please,
我不要
please, not too close.
不要靠得太近了。我现在
I'm
现
taking
在
liberties
开
here.
始讲了。
But his the
但是呢，
last teaching to
最
his
后的
disciples, his
最后的
Chinese
弟子们
disciples.
讲的
Back
就
then,
是说
there's
呢
no international
是没有
assembly, all Chinese.
这个
Agree?
国
Can we agree on
那个
that?
时候是没
So
有这个
Chinese.
国际的这个法
So what
会，因
he
为那
had
时
to
候
teach
就
his
非常
Chinese
是
people that we already
是
know.
中文的法会，所以他必须教
What
那些
is his
中文的
last
学
teaching
生呢
point?。
最后的这一个
Why
教导
would
的
he,
点
as
是
a
什
Chan
么？
master,
他为什么他是一个禅师呢？
say,
说
I'm leaving?
我要走了，
Because he's telling him,
因为
he's
他是跟他
telling
们
his
说，
disciples
跟他弟子
that
们说，
I may be high level. You
我
all
可
know
能
I
是
may be high
很高
level.
的
Agree.
程度的。
We all know
同
he's
意吗？
very
你
high
们都知
level.
道的，我
His
是非常
disciples
高
also
程度的，
knew
他的
he
弟
was
子们
very
都知
high
道他的
level.
程度很高。
But he still
但是
opened
呢
his eyes and
他还
said, I'm
是张开他的
leaving.
眼睛说我要
Because
走了，因为呢，
He may be high
他可能
level,
程度高
but，
但
he's
是呢
still
他还是呢
It's illogical for him.
甚至
We
对
just
他来说，
demonstrate,
其
we
实
should
是
agree
没有这
that
个
a Chan master would
理由
simply
的。
said nothing
很多
and
的
died.
禅师呢，基本上是不会
Yes,
说任何
but
话，然
he's
后就
not.
离开的。但是
He
他不
chose
会，
to
他选择
open his
呢
eyes and say,
张
I'm
开他的
leaving
眼睛，
because
说
he's
我们离开，
emotional,
因为
which is a
他是
lesson
呢
of
情绪化的。那其实呢，
compassion.
就是一个慈悲的一个教他们慈悲。
I know you've been meditating with me.
我知道你
I
在跟我
know
打坐了很
that
久，我
you're
知道你
all
呢
sad.
很悲伤，
So goodbye.
所以再见。
Does it make sense?
懂吗？
When I explain it to you, Americans, you get it
当
right
我
away.
跟你
Yes.
们美国人
Because
说，
you
你
guys
们
are
马上就
emotional.
懂了，因为你们是情绪化的
The
人。
Chinese are
中
ruthless.
国人是非常
Koreans
没
too.
有
Look at the Koreans.
是
They
很
just
无情的。韩国人是这样。
goodbye. Right, Sangwook.
是
Sangwook,
不是
how do you
桑沃
say
斯林
goodbye, Sangwook?
你怎么
Sunim,
说再
please.
见，桑沃斯林？
Give her a microphone.
给
Let's
他一个
listen
麦
to
克
how
风
she says
我们
goodbye.
看他怎么说 goodbye。
She's, oh my God, Master is picking on me again. Goodbye. Say goodbye, please. In Korean.
Here we translate 나는 간다.
나는 간다.
他说我们翻译成哪里
You
看
see how unemotional
你
this
看
woman is?
这个多么这个女子是多么无情。
I should explain to you that he
我才
is
跟你讲
emotional.
说
And
他
he's
是
like, I
很
cannot.
想
Good Lord. Okay, Q&A.
Q&A。
Okay, never mind. Let's not embarrass Sangwook Sunim anymore. Maybe next week. But anyway, you see, I'm trying to tell you that not so Henung to me
所以我在跟你
personally.
讲说，
I feel he did it because out of compassion, he basically said, "I know
他基
all
本
of
上
you
呢说，
pretend to be like Chan
我知道
masters,
你们都是
accomplished
跟
Chan
禅
masters,
师
enlightened
这
and
样的一样，
confused and stupid people.
他们
But
其实是
you
迷惑的人，
are emotional."
但是其实你们是情绪化的，
Especially the ones who are
尤其
confused
是
or emotional.
这些
So I
迷惑
acknowledge
的
it.
one，所以我
This is
我
very
必须要
American.
表
I
现
think deep down he's American.
回顾，但是我想其实他最后他可能心里面真的是美
Does it
国
make sense to
人，
you?
懂吗？
In America, we
在美
acknowledge
国
people's
呢，我们
emotions.
其
Yes,
实是
I
会
know you angry.
回
Yes,
应
I
对
know
方的
you
情感的。
are
他就说是的，
upset.
我知道你是
Yes,
不高
I
兴，
know
是
you
我知道
love him.
我知道你爱他。
Okay?
是，
So,
所以呢
so the Chinese, they don't say it that way. They say, I'm going, I'm leaving. So it shows, I know
所以
you
这就表示
emotional.
呢，
So goodbye.
他就这样说，我知道你的情感，所以再见。
So he did it
他这样子做
out
呢，
of compassion.
是
So
为
lesson
是
here
因为
is
他的
you
慈悲
Chan
而做
people,
的，
you
所
may
以你
be
们禅修
enlightened,
的人呢
but
你们可能觉悟了，可是呢，
you still have to be compassionate.
你必须还是要是慈悲的，这就是他的教诲。
I feel your sadness. I
我可以
feel
感到你的
your
痛苦，
attachment to
我
me.
看到你
So
对我
goodbye.
的执着，
Because
所以
I
我要
too
跟你们道
am
别，
attached to you.
因为我也是执着于你的。哦。
Okay, I've been repressing this for half an hour already.
Okay.
Good Lord. Okay, can we stop here?
好，
Thank you
我
all
们